다시 우기 주신 매도장 위라 맹신인데 겐바디 상계 신두 밑에 우월기 조군 남닥 신라 주파쇼 이람 구루 람나만다라 강디야타야미 상계 주남 소기 조남라 장주 발두 다기 갸수지 다기 주니엔기 베스남기 조라 벤실 상계 주발쇼 상계 주남 소기 조남라 장주 발두 다기 갸수지 다기 춘연기 베스남기 조라 벤실 상계 주파쇼 상계 주남 서기 조남라 장주 발두 다기 갸수지 다기 춘연기 베스남기 조라 벤실 상계 주파쇼.
By the way, everyone's invited to my class downstairs, which is they call it, so every term I try to give a talk about good behavior as a teacher or on a DCI tour or something like that. So there'll be 2 talks about it, one today, one tomorrow.
Wow.
And, so you're welcome to go today. I think it's useful for everybody. And they say they'll have room for everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Today the subject is kind of like, what do they call that? Mismanners.
Mismanners?
What's it called?
Etiquette.
Tour etiquette.
Etiquette.
And I think it's useful for everybody. Okay. Although I didn't have time to finish it. So tomorrow's going to be called Winging Tour Etiquette. Okay, so we are in the list of mental functions which accompany virtuous states of mind.
Right.
Okay, which are, by the way, I wouldn't say which accompany virtuous states of mind. I'd say which are virtuous. And then 2 of them accompany all virtuous states of mind. So it's not that you always have all of these anytime you're making good seeds. It doesn't mean that. These are, if you have them in your mind, if you have any of them in your mind, you're making good seeds. But anytime you're making good seeds, 2 of them are in your mind. But with the first group we had, all 10 are always present.
Okay.
They're called the Senki-samang. Those were in every state of mind. But these are virtuous semchus. These are virtuous mental functions. But it's not to say you always have all of them in your mind at the same time, as you did with the first group. Okay. But 2 of them you do. Okay. Anytime you're doing your good karma, there's 2 of them in your mind. Okay. I think that's the thing. Okay. So we were halfway through the list. We finished faith, which meant some clarity of mind. Okay. This is the dangwa that means crystal clear. It's used for fresh water. It's used for crystal, gemstone crystal. Okay. And what it means is admiration. Okay. Then this we gotta check we have to check some. I'm not comfortable with this spelling. I'd like to see the carving. Okay, we didn't know how to do that. We gotta check this. Okay. We described it. Bakya means being careful, mindful. This is the closest thing to mindful. What the Vipassana people is.
Mindfulness.
This is the closest thing. We don't really have what they're describing, but this is the closest thing.
Which word?
Bakya. Bakya. Remember we said it like a new bride.
Right.
Careful.
It means like mindful, like when you're walking through a store, a china shop. Like it means that there are many breakable things, and you don't just go through. You're like a little bit aware, and you're thinking, and you're not just being sloppy mentally.
Not the cow.
Yeah, not like a bull.
Cow China shop, okay.
There's a cool song by what's her name? Annie DeFranco. I'm the bull, you're the China shop. Honey. Okay, anyway, I gotta check this spelling. I'm not comfortable with it. It could be correct, but I doubt it. Sem lesuruma. Your mind is fit for work. Okay, your mind is ready for work, which is called shinjang. In the study of meditation, there are two forms of shinjang, mental and physical. But this one is just mental. Okay. Then semnyam baniki duche tangyam. So here did you have a question?
Yeah, why is this virtuous? This Shinja?
Which one?
Shinja.
Oh, it just means bright and happy.
Oh.
Mentally.
Okay.
And it's more likely to do something to help other people than to hurt other people.
Okay.
It's almost the opposite of mukha. Like bright, happy mind. Okay. Now, the next one is dangyam. Okay. And there are 3 kinds of dangyam. And it's a famous subject. So I thought you would enjoy going there. Okay. So I went and got one for you. Okay. I went and got one of the explanations of it for you. This is by Chujinglom Pelden. He's that famous Mongolian writer from the 1800s. And he wrote a very good summary of Tantra, which is part of the Diamond Mountain Tantra course. Okay. We translated the whole thing, I think. I'm not sure. So anyway, he's a great scholar in Sutra and Tantra, open teachings and secret teachings. So this is his commentary to the Abhidharma, and this is when you get to Tangyam, this is a common detour that the teacher will do, the Lama will do. Okay, so here we go.
In general,
Generally
speaking, when you talk about Tangyam, there's 3 different kinds. Okay, when you talk about Tangyam, there's 3 different kinds. And then the first one is Sorwa Tangyam. Yeah, and in this case, it means neutral feeling. Okay, neutral feelings, not pleasure, not pain. Okay, between pleasure and pain. Tamnyam. And this one, Nangsen means member of a group. Okay, that's a nice idiom. Nangsen means member of a group or part of a list. So Nangsen means it's one of the 5 kundras. So in other schools, there's 5 mental functions that Sem Kundu Droa. They go in all states of mind. They are running in all states of mind. Okay. So he says that's the one which is running in all states of mind, which is not totally correct. Well, it's not precise. Sorwa is running in all states of mind. Which is an interesting thought, and I used to sit and worry about it, when I was... Most of my work was done by myself, because I was living alone with Rinpoche, so I would sit there for hours and worry about, It means you always have feeling. You never don't have feeling, okay? It's just that sometimes it's neutral. So the nerve is always exposed, okay? And that's the idea. You never don't have some kind of feeling going on, although you're not aware of it. But it's kind of a statement about to me, a statement about the human condition. You're always open for pain. Your tooth is always broken and there's always a nerve hanging out. And if you're not hurting or something right now, it's just that nothing's around. But the nerve is always exposed. It's a very weird, when you understand it, it's kind of uncomfortable. So anyway, you never don't have feelings. So Sorowa Dangyom, Sorowa is a kundonga,
One of the five that's always
but
present.
Dangyom is just one of the three kinds of feeling. Feeling goes with, all minds are having feeling. But it's not technically correct that it's always going in the mind. It's part of feeling which is always going in the mind. But there's two other kinds of feeling. Okay, so it means neutral feeling. In this case, it means neutral feeling. Okay. Then there's Duche Dangyong. So each one has a different prefix. This Sorwa comes before Dangyong. Here Duche comes before Dangyong. And here Tseme comes before Dangyong. So there's always a word in front of Dangyong that tells you which of the three it is. In our case, in our book, he said Duche Dangyong. So it's the second one that we're interested in.
Cool.
He's not talking about feeling.
Compositional factors, your favorite term.
Yeah, compositional effect. And he says, duce, which is mean something like action. I gotta go look it up. I forgot. I don't remember what this one is. Let me see. Oh man, he doesn't have it. All right, well let's go for a longer trip.
Where are you going now?
I'm just going in the database.
I know what he's searching, but where?
So you don't know.
I better change it. This is our text. Yep. Hmm. Well, one person says it's a state of meditation free of the elephant and the monkey. Okay, so a balanced state of mind, like similar to the samapati. Okay, neutral in that sense. Okay. And then someone else here kind of confirms it as sowa le means you have let go of any obvious effort. Free flowing. Okay. He describes it as free flowing.
That's like level 9.
Yeah. Here it's Shishinki Tsoa Shishinki Michepe Nune. It's where you're flowing and you don't make effort. Because it would be an interruption. So then he says it's free of any effort to keep the smoke alarm. Okay, you let the smoke alarm go. You're not interrupting the flow of a good meditation by checking it. Okay, it's called duche tangyam. Okay, so this duche means like make effort. What do you call it? Gather your forces. What do you call it? Collect your mind?
Yeah.
Collect your thoughts.
That's one.
It's collect your thoughts. Okay. This is a long explanation of Duche Tangyam. I don't know about this one. I don't like his definition. Okay. Anyway, so I'm gonna say it's how do you say? It has to do with effort, and it's flow of effort or something like that. Neutral of effort. You're not interrupting. No, it means letting go. Neutral effort.
Uninterrupted effort?
Automatic effort. Effortless effort.
Are all the tangyams in reference to meditation, or is it just, just the mind?
One is feeling,
yeah.
right? Absence of pleasure or pain.
Right.
Neutral feeling. And this one is
Neutral
where
effort. You're not pushing
and you're not slacking off.
In the zone.
Neutral effort.
Neutral
Effort? Something like that.
Okay. What is the literal meaning of Tangyam?
Neutral.
Neutral.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess it's here that you're not working too hard and you're not working too hard. Okay. But it bothers me. Let me think about it. Okay. I'm not satisfied with it. I used to know and I don't remember.
Balanced effort.
Could be balanced effort, maybe. This one is easy. This is one of the 4 immeasurable thoughts.
Oh.
Tseme means immeasurable. And it's where you feel the same. You don't feel that some people are further and some people are closer. It's equal feelings towards everybody. Okay.
Upeksha.
Yeah, upeksha. Yeah. I think all three are upeksha.
Okay.
You see, they're all called
yeah,
upeksha.
yeah. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Upeksha, how is it explained, upeksha? Do you remember?
Yeah, upa is like up, or meaning over, and ksha is like to look, so like
Yeah.
to look at people equally.
Yeah, overlook the differences. Overlook
Cool.
the differences. Upa, iksha. Iksha came into Augen, Russian, German, and ocular in English, meaning of the eye, having to do with the eye. Okay.
So Tangyam is the word for equanimity.
Yeah, here it means equanimity. Here it means neutral feeling. And I can't remember, this has some special meaning, and I have to go look it up. I can do it now, but I'd rather do it at home, and I don't waste your time. I forgot what it is. I used to know. Okay. Okay. Ngonsa shepa dan tayupa.
Awareness.
Ngonsa shepa.
Awareness of the shame.
I like to translate it maybe as shame and
Consideration.
consideration. Okay, that's not very considerate to make a stinky number 2 and just before the beginning of today's classes, and then not turn on the fan and not use the spray and open the door and let it spread to the whole half of the building. You understand what I'm talking about?
Pretty clear on that.
It means you're not aware of how other people are going to feel. You know, so that's called to be aware is chalya. You know, this might hurt the other students who come in early in the morning, barely awake, and they have to hit this huge cloud. Okay, so options are spray the stuff, or close the door and turn on the fan and hope nobody goes in for a while. Okay, but to leave the door open and not spray anything is not chalya. Okay, I'm just defining it. I'm not saying anything. Okay, and then ngotsa shepa means shame means you're by yourself. You're in your room by yourself, and you say, "This is not a good thing for me to do." Like, I don't want to think of myself this way. In English, we say, "This is not me." You know, this is not me. It means this is not appropriate for me to do with my own self-esteem. Okay. So, by the way, those are the two that.
Always,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe it's the next two.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see what he says. I won't say.
Okay.
Chakme and Shedame. Chapame and Shedame.
Not having ignorant
Yeah, not having stupid liking and not having stupid unliking. These are the two roots. So I think these are the two that are always present.
Oh.
Maybe. Okay.
They didn't say anything?
Well, he calls them the root two.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Which word is root?
Sawa. Sawanyi. These are the root two. Maybe he will discuss it, maybe he won't. Okay. Shenla mitsewa means ahimsa. Mitsewa is ahimsa.
Non-violence toward others.
Yeah, not hurting others. Okay, then that's that. What did I translate as Jujie Tangyam? How did I translate Tangyam?
Balance.
Oh, I translated it?
Yes, you did.
Oh,
I'll see you now.
The Tibetan is Sanskara Dukkata. Dukkata.
You have an unfinished note here.
okay. Yeah, when I looked up Tamyam in ancient times, it was free of the elephant and the monkey. Balanced meditation. Balanced state of mind.
It looked like even at the time you wanted to do more.
Neither too busy nor too sleepy. So that's yours. That's a virtuous state of mind. You're not too busy and you're not too sleepy. And so you are You're not too nervous and you're not too bored. Your mind is bright and happy. Duche Tangyam. Balanced emotion, maybe. For the one that I couldn't remember. Balanced. Your emotions are balanced, something like that. State of mind is in balance. Gewe Tsundu means this is effort. Okay, effort. The willingness to work hard. Why does he say Gewa?
Because not just any effort.
Tsundu in a Gewa you mean not Gewa. Yeah, some people work really hard to hurt people. Okay, so he says, good effort. Okay. Dang Chu, somebody tell me why Dang Chu. I split it, but it's really Dang Chu.
With
Are the 10? Or
which makes 10. Remember?
Yeah.
So when you have a number preceded by Dang, it means which totals 10. Okay, when you say dung before a number, it makes which totals 10. That's an idiom that you should have in your dung dictionary. Okay. So dung before any number means which totals. Okay. Now, these are called the omnipresent virtuous. Okay, because now he says, because they accompany every virtuous state of mind. So he seems to say they accompany all good states of mind. You have all 10 anytime you have a good a virtuous state of mind. Okay. So what I said before is not correct here.
Any state of mind has.
Yeah, he says.
10?
Yeah, they are called the omnipresent virtuous ones because they occur in the retinue. They accompany all virtuous states of mind. So he's claiming you have all 10 anytime you're doing a good karma. I'm not sure that's how it's traditionally explained, but it's okay. Well, then you'd have to have a debate, like, is it possible to have a virtuous state of mind and have one of these missing?
Oh, right.
Okay, can one of these be missing?
Seems like.
And still have a virtuous state of mind?
Yeah, I mean.
You can do good things.
This, go ahead.
Oh, I mean, you can do good things with a stupid liking. I mean.
Yeah, maybe. You can debate Vasubandhu. Okay.
Where's Vasubandhu? On.
Yeah.
Face off.
Okay. Mongdam Pame Lelo the Made Pada Muktam Good. Nyomong Chanda Dr. Jung. Nyomong Chanda Dr. Jung would mean anytime you have negative emotions, these always occur. These always occur in a state of mind which is negative emotion. Then he's gonna give his mini definitions. Well, actually he doesn't. He only does for one or two. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't have time to get this ready. Okay.
Is that Marika supposed to be under the Mongpa?
Yeah, he's defining Momba. This is in a positive. So, okay, this is Abhidharma, this is not lower middle way, so you're going to be a little bit different from Sugan.
Okay.
Okay, so Mongba, meaning ignorant confusion or something. Okay, you have to struggle with this.
Confusion.
Which means misunderstanding. He defines it as misunderstanding. So Mongba here, which can mean confused, he defines as misunderstanding. Pagme, we had the opposite, Bhagya.
Carelessness.
Yeah, here it's like you're not being careful. You're not being aware or mindful of what's going on around you. Okay. Lelo is Lelo. Okay. There's Lelo. One that's easy, right? Madepa means lack of faith. Not having faith.
Faith in anything or what's any specific?
Good faith, I mean, yeah.
In Buddhism.
Probably karma.
Yeah, you can say no faith in any good thing, but it's pretty big. It's pretty general.
Okay.
Because a non-Buddhist can also have this.
All right.
You see? Okay.
Right.
All right. Muksem. See, mukba means, sometimes people say it equals momba. But muk by itself means fog, or we had it yesterday with Dr. Wu. Fog or mist. Yeah, and it means a mental mist. And we had it in whose text? It was not considered a.
Mine.
Yeah. It was
a
not considered a non-virtue?
It was a Longma 10.
Yeah.
Unusual karma, which created a drip. Or didn't create a
Yeah.
drip.
So
that
his
whole
text was discussing the difference between this and a spiritual obstacle.
thing.
And his text said it was karmically neutral. But here it's being described as occurring in all negative, in all non-virtuous states of mind.
Alright.
Sorry, not non-virtuous.
Afflicted.
Negative emotion, negative states of mind. So I don't know, mukba. This is also like confused or so, but he's got both of them, right? They both start with the same two letters. They're both related distantly. So this is sort of like unclear state of mind. Maybe it's the opposite of duce tangyong. Okay, that balanced state of mind. Okay, and it's just kind of, I mean, dark, not bright.
Like subtle dullness?
It's like that. It's like that. But it could also be maybe excitation, which is bad. Dark state of mind.
Excitation?
What?
Oh, I thought you said excitation.
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
What is
I'm saying you can have
excitation.
muksem. You can have muksem with both extremes. It doesn't have to be sleepy.
Oh.
It could be busy also, but it's an unclear state of mind.
Convoluted mind.
But what do you say, like, unclear about morality?
Immoral mind.
Huh?
But not immoral.
It's a little bit dark, okay, in the sense of not, almost, it's not quite evil,
Fuzzy.
but it's dark.
Right. Morality's a little fuzzy.
Befogged. Foggy.
Foggy.
Literally, it means foggy.
Oh.
Okay.
Foggy mind.
Unclear.
Yeah.
You have to think about it. By the way, to find English words for these is totally difficult. I spent years on it, you know. And you know, I made one, and then later I learned more, and I went back and changed it, and then I went back and changed it again. I changed it again. But my only advice is find a word which is not too limited, because these are in all minds. All minds have them. Bugs have them. Dogs have them. These are very primitive. Murky's good. Murky is an English word that means not clear water. Like if M-U-R-K-Y.
Clouded.
M-U-R-K-Y.
Soupy.
What's the same in the dictionary? What's the Chinese dictionary say?
It's like dark, not clear, fuzzy, little.
Like if you go scuba diving and there was a storm the day before, and you can only see this far in the water. Yeah. Dirty water. Murky is pretty good.
It seems like they believe that the monkey and elephant are evil things, right? Because the virtuous one is without.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
How would you
I would
interpret
say that the monkey and the elephant are more likely to lead to moral trouble. You see,
that? Yeah.
That's
they
true.
are more likely to lead to a bad karma. I don't think they're bad karma in themselves. When you say they accompany bad karma state of mind, I think it's very possible that they are present.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm not sure that I don't think by themselves they are necessarily non-virtuous.
Okay.
It's
But
like
they prepare your mind to do bad things.
4 minutes.
4 minutes long.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Gopa is the word for the monkey. Okay.
Right.
What do you call it? Distraction.
Unpeaceful
Busy
monkey.
mind. Good. What's mirga?
Mirga.
M-I space R-G-O-D.
It's a ape or
Yeah, an
orangutan.
ape. Gorilla.
That's
It's called a wild human. So good can mean wild, like wild animal. So gopa means a little bit wild, you know.
A bit wild.
Oh, monkey.
Wild in a bad way. Like you had some beers with your friends and you are causing trouble.
Yeah.
That's called good. Okay.
And you are
He defines it as mashiwa,
Not peaceful.
not a peaceful state of mind,
Hmm.
where the mind is not at peace. Where the mind is not at peace. Druk che chen, dang druk,
Oh, those are the
Make
6.
10. Oh,
which
Oh,
makes
6
a
in
total of
total.
6, which adds up to 6. Let's consider those. Nyomong chembe sabayente.
They're all
They are accompany major negative states of mind. Meaning it's a mainga.
there's
There are
one
some
accompanying
minor
minor.
Yeah, we're gonna have other states of mind that accompany minor negative states of mind. Okay. These are all whenever you're having strong negative emotion, these 6 are there.
How would you teach it to a general audience?
Yeah, good luck. No, think about it on the plane. Think about it on the plane.
Okay.
The whole time.
No,
In between movies.
Little.
Why are they called omnipresent with strong negative emotions? Because they always occur in conjunction with all states of mind which are very negative.
Very?
Well, negative. They always talk to accompany kordu,
All states of mind.
all states of mind which are negative. Okay.
It's
Oh,
about
here's that thing I was talking about. Here's the thing I was talking about before. And I haven't studied this in 30 years. So give me a break.
What's the official break, guys?
More than 30 years. Okay, Mige Lani Teme Dangosa Mepo. So it's only a line and a half. So you might want to set it up like this. Okay. All right. Yeah, these are Migewe Sapa, Samang. Only 2. Always accompany a non-virtuous, bad karma state of mind. Whenever you're making a bad seed, these 2 are always there.
Yeah.
They're right there.
It's
Okay.
time's up.
Lack of shame and lack of consideration.
Hot face.
So the virtuous one should be
Yeah, like the same
the shame and
lake of shame.
consideration. It's
Yeah.
not the root 2 of
Go to a lake.
Yeah, right.
lacking
Yes,
and-
I don't know. I don't know why he called them. I think now it's different between root 2 and the 2 that are always there. It's different.
Right.
Okay. And you know, I spent many hours. Basically, I was on my own in the kitchen, Rinpoche's kitchen, or the laundromat, and I would spend many hours thinking, like, why? You know. Okay. Well, why is it anytime you're making a bad karma, you have these 2? You're not thinking about how it affects others,
Uh-huh.
and you're not thinking about how it affects you.
Yeah.
Because if you thought of that, you
You
would
wouldn't-
maybe have done it differently.
Maybe you'd stop doing
Yeah,
it.
you could have.
Don't say that, it's too
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
It's too hard, dude.
Especially when it's pecan pie.
That was my worst one. Okay.
Oh man.
If it's llamas pick up pie.
I know.
That's my daily problem.
Having that damn 1,000
I had the brownies in my hand this morning. I was like, I should throw these out, but they're llamas brownies.
Bring them
You
to
have
the-
friends who
Yeah, we
probably enjoy them.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I
Turn
just
the
give
best.
it
Simba.
away.
Third
There's a
option.
third choice.
Yeah.
The
You
garbage
get
is-
more in the future. That's a problem.
But I don't know if I want more.
Yeah,
Then I'll have to buy more pants.
it's the kitchen.
Shashi Buki Jukshin Metok Cham Rira Ringshin Yende Yembadi Sangye Shingdu Mikte Uwargi Jokun Namda Shingla Juparsho Iram Guru Rana Mandala Kamyatayami Gewo Kun Sanam Yeshe Sotsoshin Sanam Yeshe Lechung Wei Tamba Kunyi Toparsho. Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, by the way, I'd say one more thing about Abhidharma, that it's so old. It's over 2,000 years old. So it's the one subject in this room which is hardest to apply to real life. It's so dry and it's so abstract that your job in Thailand is to try to apply it to people's real life, you know. So you have to, that's going to take a lot of thought, because it's very typical that people who study Abhidharma don't apply it to their real life.
Right.
It become a very dry, like scholarly thing. In the countries where it is still strong, those people are just all kind of like geeks, Dharma geeks, and they don't really care about using it. They just study the words and like that. So to make Abhidharma alive for other people, it's going to be a challenge. What was your question?
It's related. So in your mind, how would you describe this book? Like,
I would get Geshe Michael to teach me the fifth group. So at least you finished all the groups.
please, Geshe.
Which is only this much text.
Okay.
That's all we need to finish the 5 groups. Okay. So yeah, if it were me, I'd say I'd kind of do a debate format, or can you think of a bad deed that you could do and thinking of others? Being considerate.
Yeah, sure.
Like are there any exceptions? Because these are supposed to be accompany all non-virtuous states of mind. Or is it possible to have consideration without shame? Is it possible to have shame without consideration? I would raise all these questions.
In the end, they just say only 2 will be.
Let's discuss.
Yeah,
this
these are
another
only
time,
2.
then.
This group has
So this
only 2
group,
We got to
members.
get Geshe-la
Group
downstairs.
4 only has 2 members.
And we can maybe squeeze Stanley in for another session, depending on what's
That
going
might
on.
be nice for him, because
Yeah.
this is all. It's just
Yeah.
this chunk here.
Stanley, I'll do it if we can.
If you
move
get
on
this
now.
done, you're done with it. And then, some other
Hard to get them to stop.
term, if you want to do like he's doing, you should study it according to other schools. Other schools' mental functions, because they are more sophisticated.
I'd love that.
The other schools are more sophisticated.